All right. Well, hey, welcome to, I guess, episode one of Not Perfect, Just Being. Right. So this is an unedited version of me, um, just to kind of vent, talk about things, kind of just share what's been on my mind or my heart. So obviously these aren't scripted. There's no schedule set for these. And this can happen, like I said in my introduction video, anywhere. Right now, it's happening in my car as I'm driving home. So if I don't look at the camera, forgive me. However, right now I'm coming up to a red light, so I'm good. Um, Anywho, so right now, what's on my mind really is um, just not feeling what is it, worthy, I guess. Um, you know, not feeling worthy enough to do what I'm trying to do, right, with an imperfect voice. Um, I don't feel worthy enough um to, read the Bible, one chapter at a time, and share it, or share some of the lessons that I would like to go through with, not perfect, just faithful. And that's probably why, honestly, why I'm actually, gotten off. It's a good start, I guess, but it's just not. It's an inconsistent start, right? Um, I got thoughts running through my mind like, what do people think, right? People who know me, they know. My wife knows me. People who know me for a long time know that I'm not. I am far from perfect, um, and honestly, that kind of weighs on me. Right? My past isn't that bad, right? I'm not. Don't get me wrong or anything like that. It's just, um, it's not, I'm not. I haven't been the model Christian, I guess, or what the world would consider. I'm assuming what the model Christian is. And so because of that, like, I just feel like almost like people are going to judge me, right? People are going to be like, oh, who the heck is this guy? You know what I mean? Who is he that he thinks that he could just do one of these, right? No degree, hasn't been a Christian for that long, or he's not that kind of a Christian, or, whatever the case may be, right? And so for me, that's really what I've been struggling with, right? That's what I guess, I don't know if subconscious is the word to use or anything, but that's what I'm battling with, right? I want to post more content. I want to share more, but I feel like in a way that I'm being judged, right? Um, by I'm not really worried about the people who will see this out in the world, right? Because I expect to be judged, right? I expect for people to look at me and be like, "The frick is this guy? Who is this guy?" But um, honestly, I feel, and this might not be true, right? This could be in my head, right? It's just, again, just what I'm feeling. But I feel like, maybe there's some people who do know me, or know who I am, or know what I'm like, or know my personality that, could be judging me, right? And at least they're polite enough not to say anything, right? Um, but honestly, I mean, at the end of the day, I know that as long as I'm not butchering his words, I'm not, you know, preaching false stuff, um, I know that I'm good, right? I know that God sees my heart. I know that Jesus sees my intentions and what it is that I'm striving for and my hope for all this, right? Honestly, I mean, that's really all I really care about. I mean, it's funny, I say that, right? And yet at the same time, I say uh, what's on my mind is also people judging me, right? But the truth of the matter is, I say this just to kind of get it off my chest, right? Um, this channel, right? These podcasts that I'm doing, this is, if I'm being honest, it's for me, right? I'm reading the Bible for me. Um, Doing these lessons because I'm taking a page out of the Michael Scott playbook, right? There was one of the episodes where Michael Scott, he was waiting for if what's her name was going to be married or not married. And so he made two different videotapes, one if she was and one if she won't, right? And his thought process was, if anybody could talk me out of anything, it's me. And so that's my thought around the Not Perfect, Just Faithful, right, series. It's topics that I struggle with, or topics that I'm wrestling with, and topics that I want to get way better at. And so who better else to talk me down than me, right? I mean, aside from the obvious, right? Jesus, of course. But yeah, so I mean, that was my thought process when I was putting it all together. Reading the Bible, obviously, we got to get into God's word. God's word says that we got to, write it on our hearts, right? We got to keep it at the forefront of our minds, his word, right? So that it'll change us. It could do what it needs to do. So, right? I know that I've been slacking in that department. So, that was that. And then the not me is just because I just want people to know, hey, listen, I'm not playing around here, right? I'm not a scholar. I'm not a pastor. I'm not ordained or anything like that. I'm just a normal person, right? That probably got no business doing what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyways, right? I've searched around. I've looked at podcasts, right? Everybody that I've come up about, right, is like professionals, people who've been studying for their whole lives, and that's great. But, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But I had a hard time relating to these people because when I saw those people, right, whoever it was in these podcasts, right, it was all professional. Beautiful sound, dressed up nice, got a degree, got some kind of, been doing it for years, right? So to me, I see that and I'm like, okay, well, it's nice. Doesn't invalidate what these people are saying or how they're, what they're trying to help out with. It's just, for me personally, I find it hard to relate to those kind of people, right? Like I find it hard to. It's like, well, how do you again? I find it's funny because I pretty much judge those people the way I'm thinking people are judging me, right? Like, who is this person to talk about these when, their kids are grown and they're doing good, or they put on the persona of everything is good, right? So that is funny. And that might be why I actually think people are judging me too. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is that this whole channel is strictly, for me, it's about me, right? I want to grow closer to God. And if it bothers some people, I apologize, right? But my heart is that, I grow closer to God, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that my videos touch somebody else, call somebody else closer to God as well. Iron sharpen iron, and you know what? I'm not really good at talking with people, right? So this is the best that I can do right now. This is how strong my faith is and how strong I am when it comes to sharing the gospel as I understand it. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, like, I don't have all the answers. I don't know. I might say one thing one day, and all of a sudden my pastor, right, or a good friend of mine might come to me and say, hey, man, you made a mistake. You might want to take a look at this. You might want to take a look at this, And all of a sudden my mind changed. So here I come for another video, right? So, I guess it's almost like, for me, it's like a documentation of my growth, right? Here's where I'm starting now, right? I'm interested to see where I'll be 6 months from now. How will I be speaking? How will I be reading? Because after watching Genesis 1 reading, I was like, man, that's a 41-year-old dude. He looked like he hasn't been reading for that long. Or he looked like he just started reading. Anyways, I mean, I can go on. But that's pretty much what it is, guys. It's just, I'm just doing it for me. That's it. If it blesses you, that's awesome. And that's amazing. And if God uses me to help somebody, then that's awesome, right? Not taking anything away from that at all. Like that's amazing to me. And my hope, like I said, is that in my journey, it helps somebody else with their journey. And so I just want to say thank you again for any support and all support. Feel free to comment, right? Let me know what you think, especially on these ones, you know what I mean? Or any of them, really. Let me know that I missed something. Should I be looking at something else? Should I be, thinking of it in a different way? Again, iron sharpens iron, right? That's one of my things there. It's, how do I know I'm not mistakenly saying something wrong if nobody tells me, or if I don't put it out there so that somebody could tell me? And so that's just my heart on this. So I'll try to keep these videos, relatively short, maybe 10, 15 minutes, if not shorter. But thank you again for, stopping by and listening. Thank you again for any and all support. So I hope this helps. Here's a sneak peek into Michael. Yeah, thank you again. Take care. God bless. Yeah, amen.